And let us start this session. The first session is on social entrepreneurship. This is the basic session introduction on social entrepreneurship. Right. So the contents, there are only two major contents: social entrepreneurship, including, of course, a few case studies also, and then the recommendations for promoting social entrepreneurship. Right. So who is a social entrepreneur? A social entrepreneur is the work of a social entrepreneurship is the work of a social entrepreneur. That means, that is a process basically. A social entrepreneur is a person. Entrepreneurship is a process, right? So who is a social entrepreneur? A social entrepreneur is a person, is someone who recognizes a social problem, right? Who recognizes a social problem, a problem in the society or in the community. He's able to recognize that and uses entrepreneurial principles to organize, create, and manage a venture or a business venture to bring social change. That means he's the one who sees a problem, who's able to see a problem in the community or in the society, and then he sets up a business basically, or an enterprise or a company to solve that societal problem, right? So solving the problem is the major, motto of the entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, and not minting the money. The money will come by default. The money may or may not come by default. Normally, it comes by default, but the purpose is not to earn the money. The purpose is to serve the society, basically, right? So there are three key components of a social entrepreneurship. There has to be a problem in the society or in the community, right? There has to be a sustainable solution, a solution which is sustainable, which brings about a social change, right? So these are the three major components of a social entrepreneurship. Now, let me discuss a few definitions of a social entrepreneur, because it is more or less a new phenomena. It's not a very old concept. So the authors and the years are given on the left-hand side. So Bornstein in 2004, he said that a social entrepreneur is a path breaker with a powerful new idea who combines visionary and real world problems. So the actual problems of the people, the real world problems, solving with its creativity, who has a strong ethical fiber. So he's not into the money making exercise. He's more of an ethical. It's more of a social business, right? He's not a commercial entrepreneur. These are the social entrepreneurs. Ethical fiber, and who is totally possessed by his or her vision for a change. The people who want to change the society, who want to serve the society through their businesses, basically, who solve the people's problems with an ethical mindset, they're known as a social entrepreneurs. The second definition is by Martin and Osberg in 2007. They say that the social entrepreneur should be better understood as someone whose aim is to target a stable equilibrium that causes the neglect. If some people are being neglected, let us say, so he has to target that problem, that equilibrium, which is causing the neglect of the people. Brings to his or her inspiration by its direct action, along with creativity, its courage and fortitude, and aims to establish a new stable equilibrium in order to secure permanent benefit for the group and the society at large. So if there are certain problems in the society and there are certain reasons or certain things which are causing that problems or the neglect, he targets those issues or those problems and brings about a solution for the benefit of the society. Right. This is the PBS is the Public Broadcasting System of the USA. They say that a social entrepreneur is the one who identifies and solves social problems. Like, very simple definition: who's able to identify. He has that third eye. Sorry. He has that third eye to see those social problems, or he has that sixth sense to see those social problems, and then he's able to solve the social problems. Just as business and entrepreneurs, they also create and has an ability to transform whole industries. They act as the change agents for the whole society, aims to seize opportunities to improve the systems by inventing and applying new approaches that create social values, right? So the basic, thrust is on the social values or the societal benefit, basically. Thompson in 2002 said that People with the qualities who are they are the people who with the qualities who are associated with the business entrepreneurs, but they operate within a community, are more concerned with the things like caring and helping rather than making money. It's basically same process of like a commercial entrepreneur, but here the main focus is on the social benefit for the social cause basically, rather than making the money. The Skoll Foundation, they say that the social entrepreneur acts as a society's change agent who is a pioneer of innovation that will benefit the whole community. Anything which helps the community or the society, so that is the purpose. They are ambitious, mission driven, strategic, and result oriented. Austin in 2006, they say, it's a group of people, they say, social entrepreneurship is an innovation, social value creating activity, social value creating activity that can occur within or across the non-profit businesses or government sectors. So anybody in any position who is trying to help the people, trying to solve the societal problems, in case he sets up a small business or an entity, he becomes a social entrepreneur. Johnson in 2000 said that as innovation approach, the concept of social entrepreneurship is emerging to deal with the complex social needs. The aim is problem solving with social innovation. Activities related to socially entrepreneurial blur the boundaries which was traditional between the public, private, and non-profit sector. The aim is to create hybrid model of for both profit and non-profit activities. Right. Now let me take a few case studies so that you can understand the concept very clearly. Definitions are okay, but you need to understand the concept through the case studies. This is a case study of a doctor. His name is Dr. Govinda Venkataswamy, Dr. G. Venkataswamy, who has set up a hospital, an eye care hospital in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, wherein they serve the poor people. The people who are poor, the people who belong to rural areas, downtrodden, society people who cannot afford to have the eye surgeries and who become blind because they cannot have the surgeries. They have no money to do this, get the surgeries done. So for them, he is doing everything free of cost. So he set up a hospital where these poor people, they can walk in, they can walk in and then they can get the surgeries done absolutely free of cost. The people who have the potential to pay, so they take the money from them, and that money is being used to operate upon the these poor people basically. So it's a social enterprise. So he's not earning any money. Whatever money he's earning, he's spending that money on the poor people. He says if Coca-Cola can sell billions of sodas and McDonald's can sell billions of burgers, why cannot Aravind? Aravind is their brand name basically. Sell millions of sight restoring operations. So he's the founder of Aravind Eye Care Hospital. Dr. Venkata Swamy retired in 1978 at the age of 57. He set up a hospital foundation in Chennai. He added a medical research foundation. He added an institute of community ophthalmology. And 3/4 of the surgeries, 75% of the surgeries are done absolutely free of cost. Dr. Venkata Swamy designed a model where the revenues from a paid service stream along with high levels of efficiency could offset the cost of providing free services, right? So they are taking the money from the people who can afford to pay, coupled with a very high efficiency listing level, and it is being used, that money is being used to serve the poor people. It includes revenues from the patients who pay and income from the sales of Arabin's intraocular device units. So they're selling some units also, like some devices, some lenses they're also selling. And whatever profit is coming from that is being used to serve the poor people. He says, I do not run a business. I give people their sights. Secret of success is high efficiency and self-sufficiency. The housekeeping and the paramedical staff are mostly the girls recruited from the nearby villages. So he's generating employment also. Patients, they start coming in as early as 4 in the morning. No appointments, not even for the paid ones. And the hospital starts working right at 5 in the morning. So this is the entire, eye care system of Aravind, the entire spectrum. And now they have, done a lot of expanded like anything, right? He says we want to go global. That means why only serving the poor people from the India only? The poor people from the other countries, like neighboring countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, the people who cannot afford to, to get their, this thing done freely. So for them, he's also doing freely. So he set himself a target of eradicating needless blindness, that blindness which can be easily, removed by having some small surgeries. So that he's trying to eradicate from this region first, and then from the entire world later. He has got many awards like Padma Shri Award, the Helen Keller International Award, and his vision and accolades, his vision and leadership has got him accolades from around the world. So he is like a social entrepreneur, like working for the society, working for the people, working for the community, right? Let me take up another case study of a lady. Her name is Albina Ruiz. Albina Ruiz is she is from Peru. Peru is a Latin American country, a South American country, and the capital is Lima. So in Lima, the capital of Peru, I'm talking of a little long time back. The people they were keeping their garbage out of their homes. When the from the household garbage, they just keep it out of their homes, so that the municipality people they can come and then they can collect the garbage. But the garbage was much more than the capacity of the municipal corporation. So a lot of garbage was lying outside on the streets only, and it was creating a nuisance. The entire capital, it was a lot of garbage on the streets, on the roads. A lot of smell was coming. So then this lady thought of this problem, societal problem. So she set up a business, a small enterprise in which she hired some people who are collecting that garbage from the entire city. So they were collecting it there, and then they were like sending it to the different industries for processing basically. So that was a model which she adopted. So let me read. In Peru, run by Albina Rios, it's a waste collection basically. 600 metric tons of garbage was being collected daily, and right now she's overseeing projects in 20 cities, and she's employing more than 150 people. This figure could be more. This is a little old data, and serving over 3 million residents. So in fact, she's highly qualified. She is a doctorate, and she has done her qualifications from out of the countries from the Europe, from the Spain, etc. And in the last December, that means 11 months back, she has become a cabinet minister in the Peruvian government also. So she did a lot of social work. She became very famous, and right now she has been inducted as a cabinet minister in the Peruvian national government, federal government, basically. See, that is the benefit of doing something for the people. People who are doing only for themselves, who are all commercial people, so nobody bothers about them. But when you serve the society, when you serve the people, you become popular, and then you get the recognition also. This is a very famous example of a social entrepreneur, Professor Muhammad Yunus, Grameen Bank. He's from Bangladesh. Grameen means the rural, Grameen Bank, rural bank. He's the founder of Grameen Bank. So you see, in Bangladesh, I'm talking of around 20-25 years back. I'm talking of, it was a very poor country. Right now, it is okay. Very poor country. So the ladies in the rural areas, now they have no money to spend. The rural, poor rural women. Now, if they want to set up a small business, a small, let us say, tailoring, business, or let us say a small, beauty parlor, something like that. Now you need the money to set up a small business also. So when they go to the bank to get the money from the bank says, give us some security. Now these ladies have no money, and they have no property in their names. These are all Muslim ladies, from the rural areas of the Bangladesh. So they had no money, no guarantee, nothing was there. So the banks, they were refusing to give them the money. So then this man came forward. He said, okay, I'll give you the money. You take the money. So 10,000 takas. Taka is their local currency. So you can take 10,000 takas from me without any security. Just take the money from me, start your work, start earning the money, and then you can repay the money in installments. Sorry. So that is how he started helping these rural, poor women through microfinancing, and that concept has now really, caught up. And even now, even the developed countries like in US also, they have the concept of microfinancing. It was started by Muhammad Yunus only. Later on, it went viral to all the countries. So he was honored with the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 because of all his efforts. He helped poor rural women of Bangladesh to stand on their own feet by setting up micro enterprises, small enterprises, tailoring, cutting, beauty parlor, small things basically. So he acted as a catalyst to bridge the gap between the financing of financial organizations and the poor who have traditionally been kept out of the banking orbit. Professor Muhammad Yunus is a Bangladeshi, is a banker, an economist, and previously he was the professor of economics, where he developed the concept of microcredit for the low-income clients and microfinancing, like savings, money transfers, and then he set up this Grameen banks also. So he has written books also, like Banker of the Poor, Grameen Bank, and Creating a World Without the Poverty. So he's also a social entrepreneur. So what are the objectives of the Grameen Bank? Banking facilities to the poor men and women. Initially, it was meant only for the women, but now it is open to the men also. The second objective is to remove the exploitation of the poor. Because the people who have a lot of money, they used to exploit the poor people. Sorry. And then providing opportunities for self-employment and reversing the vicious cycle of low income. The people have low income, and that is why they are stuck up. So reversing that cycle also. In fact, we can see this cycle over here also. You see, people have a low average income. The poor people, rural people, low average income. Uh, I'll take the questions at the end of my session, please. Some people are raising hands. I'll take the question at the end of the session. So low income. So low savings and low investments. And then we have the low pace of capital formation because there is no money. Now, when there is no money, you cannot buy the latest machinery. So you have again low productivity. Again, it results into low income. It's like a vicious cycle of poverty, right? This is a vicious cycle of poverty, illiteracy, low technology, and rapid population growth, which is very common in our countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, all these countries. So there is a low level of literacy. It results in low level of skills. Hurdles in the use of technology. You have no skills. You cannot you cannot use the latest technology. Rapid population growth, inadequate output and food, increased poverty, and low level education. So this is a vicious cycle basically, and we need to break this vicious cycle through the social entrepreneurship, right? Okay. Now, if we compare the conventional banks with the Grameen banks, let us try to see the differences. The conventional banks are owned by the rich. The Grameen banks are owned by the poor women. In conventional, the objective is to maximize the profits. In Grameen banks, they offer financial services to the poor women to fight poverty. The ones who do not have anything, right? Priority in conventional, the priority of loan to those who possess good weightage. In Grameen, the ones who have nothing, in their hands. The branches are located in urban or business centers. In the case of conventional, here they're located in the rural areas. Now they need a collateral base. In Grameen, there's no collaterals. It's absolutely collateral free loans. The interest amount can go above the loan amount also in the conventional. In the Grameen banks, there's no interest on the principal amount. It's a very important. There's no interest on the principal amount. And in conventional banks, the liability passes to the families. In the case of Grameen banks, there's no such condition, right? Okay. Now this is again a definition of social entrepreneurship by Professor Gregory. He says adopting a mission to create and sustain social value. Social value, not private value. Private is more of a commercial. Here we're talking of the social value. Recognizing and relentlessly pursuing the new opportunities to serve that mission, engaging in a process of continuous innovation, adaptation, and learning, acting boldly without being limited by the resources currently in hand, and exhibiting a heightened sense of accountability to the constituencies served, right? Or the outcomes created. So the main concern is for the constituencies or for the societies or for the communities or for the people basically. These are the contributions of social entrepreneurship in country's development. First is employment generation. It's just like a business basically, right? So when you have a business, you have an enterprise, you will generate such certain employment for the people, right? Then innovations or new goods or services, you tend to be little more innovative because you need to save the money, right? So there could be some new technologies, new innovations with a view to save the money, right? Social capital is very important. Social capital is not the money capital. The social capital means having a lot of relationships basically, trying to serve the people, developing a someone have a sort of a common, the same bondages amongst the people. So that is a social capital basically. Then equity promotion, that means a more equitable society, that let the money be spread across all the people rather than in a few hands only. Now let us discuss some initiatives for supporting social entrepreneurs. I'll discuss them one by one in the succeeding slides. First is Tata Social Enterprise Challenge. Second is LGT Venture Philanthropies Swap. Then Social Enterprise Incubators and Accelerators. Then the Skull Awards for the Social Entrepreneurship. Now let us discuss them one by one. First is Tata Social Enterprise Challenge, right? It is a collaboration between the Tatas and with the IIM Calcutta. So Tata Group and IIM Calcutta, they have joined together for this initiative. It is meant for the most promising social enterprises of India. The best and the brightest young men and women pursue its academic program. So those social entrepreneurs who are very good in their field. So under this activity, they can come to IIM Calcutta, and they can be trained over there, right? The ventures should be focused on creating social impact in India. So venture should have a sustainable business models with Indian circumstances and conditions. So their admission in a 3 weeks mentorship program, which includes mentorship at IIM Calcutta, Calcutta campus. That means the professors of IIM Calcutta, they can mentor you. They can mentor you to how to go forward basically in your social venture. They're also the people also awarded with the cash grants and opportunities to pitch for the funding and incubation at IIM Calcutta. Right. The second was the LGT Venture Philanthropy Swap. This is a foundation which is based in Zurich in Switzerland. They have a Smiling World Accelerator Program, SWAP. Smiling World Accelerator Program. You see, there are two things. One is incubator, one is accelerator. When you want to start a business, at the very beginning, you need to have an incubator where you can be incubated for the very first time. Now, once you're already up and running and you further need some push from somewhere, you can go to an accelerator who can accelerate your progress basically, right? So it's an accelerator program. So those social enterprises who are already running and they need to fast track this thing, so they can come over here and they can be accelerated. So SWAP is an intensive 9 to 24 months program. They provide financial and business mentorship, support young and strongly growing enterprises that benefit the disadvantaged population. They provide business consulting services, access to the mentors and the co-investors. This creates a lot of impact when you have the mentors. The mentors, they can guide you how to proceed further, because sometimes you can become a social entrepreneur at the very beginning. You're doing good, but you have no vision basically how to go further. Then these people, those professors, those senior people, experienced people, they can guide you, they can coach you. Even they can invest in money also. So they can act as co-investors also. So they have partners in about 26 countries. They provide tailored resources and supported 6 organizations with amount of around $4 lakh US dollars in the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Social enterprise incubators and accelerators. These are some of the like first is Global Social Benefit Incubator for the very first time. It helps the entrepreneurs build their social businesses. So those who want to become social entrepreneurs, they can go into this incubator. Normally, the incubators are meant for this, for the conventional, for the commercial this thing, but this is for the social entrepreneurs only. It's a capacity building program for leaders of social benefit enterprises. The second is the Echoing Green Fellowship. In this fellowship, the seed money, the initial money, is given to the world's most promising social enterprises. So if you have a very good idea, if you've got a very good this thing business, a business plan or a business proposal, you can pitch in your idea over here, and you can get the initial money, initial grant, social seed funding. Next is the Ashoka Fellowship. Then we have this Global Social Benefit Incubator. It is in Santa Clara University at California. So the focus is on connecting the entrepreneurs with the successful Silicon Valley executives, academic leaders, and mentors to build social ventures with strong business models. So those, social entrepreneurs, they can be connected with the Silicon Valley people over there. So they can mentor you, they can guide you, they can invest in money in your businesses also. The Echoing Green Fellowship. So they provide seed funding to a diverse group of world's most promising social entrepreneurs. A few years back, Echoing Green Fellowship was awarded to 5 Indian organizations. These are the organizations in India. One was the ICE for developing affordable health technologies for women in rural India. Then Frontier Markets for delivering clean and safe energy to the rural India. Then Save Life Foundation for creating a community-driven emergency medical response system in India. Then Avanti Fellows for removing the economic and social barriers in attending top colleges in India, and the Medha for providing employability training and leadership mentoring to India's college graduates. So these are the 5, social enterprises, and they got this, fellowship, the Echoing Green Fellowship. Ashoka is set up by Bill Drayton. Bill or William is his actual name. Drayton is the father of social entrepreneurship. He started the organization Ashoka. If somebody asks who started social entrepreneurship, from where this word was coined, it is the Bill Drayton or William Drayton. He is the one who started the social entrepreneurship movement. The organization has awarded financial support to more than 1,800 social entrepreneurs in 60 countries in that 2-year period, along with the professional support. Ashoka has appointed more than 1,700 fellows in 60 countries across the world. These fellows, they work in 6 broad fields. One is the learning or the youth development, environment, like saving environment, health, human rights, economic development, and civic participation. Civic means the people's participation across Asia, Africa, Latin America, Central Europe, and the US, right? Ashoka itself gets these grants from various sources such as corporates. You see, like in our corporates, they have this like CSR, they have the funding. So they can donate that funding to these people, to these organizations. So Ashoka is like an organization. So they get the funding from the corporates, from business entrepreneurs, and from the individuals also. They have brought electricity to the rural Brazilian communities. Ashoka also attracts new generation youth venture. This is what is the social entrepreneurship and what do social entrepreneurs do? Social entrepreneurs are not, this is the definition by Bill Drayton, the one who started this social entrepreneurship movement, right? He says social entrepreneurs are not content to just give a fish or teach how to fish. They will not rest until they have revolutionized the entire fishing industry, right? This is his definition of the social entrepreneurs. Then the SKOL Awards for social entrepreneurs. The SKOL Awards are given to these social entrepreneurs whose proven innovations have demonstrated impact on some of the world's most pressing problems, right? So in case you have done something very, spectacular for the societies, you can apply under the this, award also. This NASV. NASV is the National Association of Street Vendors in India, and this one Nidan also. So they got this SKOL Foundation Award. It's an organization that supports unorganized sector workers. They were awarded with the SKOL Foundation Award. From the slums of Bihar to the streets of Delhi, Nidan and ASV gave informal workers more than a voice. They gave them ownership of their collectives. Then what are the challenges for social entrepreneurs? One is the lack of education in social entrepreneurship, because people are mostly running after the commercial entrepreneurship. Nobody thinks of the society, helping the society. So that is one of the crunch areas where people are more into the commercial or money minting, businesses rather than, helping the people. Then the lack of financial assistance, because it is more of a service to the society. So banks are a little reluctant to give the money to the because it is mainly meant for the society. The lack of skilled manpower and lack of government support. Then my recommendations for promoting social entrepreneurship: promote culture of social entrepreneurship in the institutions. Like you have a lot of students working, who are teaching who are studying in institutions. You can tell some of them that those who have that uh, fire in their bellies to do something for the society, for the people, basically, they can go for social entrepreneurship. It can be offered as a core subject in the curriculum. We can organize training programs for the potential social entrepreneurs. Like once this program is over, this 5 days program is over, you can organize a 1 day program or a half a day program for the potential social entrepreneurs amongst your students. Just half a day or 1 day program you can always conduct. We can launch separate schemes by financial corporations and the banks only for the social entrepreneurs. We can offer concessions, income tax exemption, subsidies for these people because they're working for the society only. Uh, we can study the best practices of developed countries for application. The work has been done more in the developed countries like US, Canada. We can study their practices, how they have done, and we can replicate those practices in our country also. We can set up exclusive technology business incubators and technology business accelerators for the social entrepreneurs. So meant only for the social entrepreneurs, incubators and accelerators. We can set it up. So I think that is all in this very first session, a very introductory session.